Hello students, welcome to NCERT Solutions by Vedantu. I am Ms. Gopika, your own biology master teacher. So all of you know that from few days we have been doing our NCERT line by line where we are trying to decode every single chapter through NCERT. So this is a combination of both for your board and NEET students. There'll be a lot of students who are preparing for your boards and there are a lot of students who are preparing for your NEET. So this is like a revision class that you can take. And today I'm going to do human physiology units, a chapter. As all of you know, human physiology is very important for a NEET aspirant, but it is also very important for a board student because teachers tend to give a lot of questions from these chapters, as it is very important to know about your own body, right? You should know about your own body. You should know basics of your own body, right? So saying all of that, we are going to do breathing and exchange today. First topic, actually first chapter. So let's directly decode the chapter. Yes, breathing and exchange of gases. Breathing and exchange of gases. 1 second, students. Yes. Okay. Breathing and exchange of gases. Let's go with this first paragraph. As you read earlier, oxygen is utilized by organism to indirectly break down nutrient molecules like glucose and to derive energy for performing various activities. Now, I hope all of you know that breathing or respiration is not just done for taking in oxygen. Why do we need oxygen? What is the ultimate goal of it? So you respire, that means you inhale and exhale, right? You inhale and exhale, not just for the fact that you have to throw the carbon dioxide outside and take in the oxygen. So here you're taking in the oxygen, here you're throwing out the carbon dioxide. Got it? So that is not just the thing. This oxygen has to go to every single cell for doing cellular respiration. That means each cell should get the oxygen for them to perform properly. Okay. Now, how you people need to study well, how you need to you people need to prepare well to go and write the exam confidently. Same way. Okay. Now, carbon dioxide, which is harmful, is also released. Okay, also released during above catabolic reactions. It is therefore evident that oxygen has to be continuously provided to the cells, and carbon dioxide provided by the cells have to be released out. That means this is a continuous process. It's not like, okay, today I have taken in how much of oxygen I want, tomorrow I'm like, hey, no mood to take oxygen, so let me just not take the oxygen. It does not work like that. Okay, every time there should be a continuous exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, continuous exchange should be there, that okay, oxygen is coming in, carbon dioxide is going out. And let me also tell you, when you learn this breathing and exchange, you will be like, my god, all this is happening in a span of milliseconds. It's happening in less than a second. How all this is happening, right? Alveolar exchange is happening, how this oxygen is going to the tissues. So now when we study body fluids and circulation, you'll understand how heart is supplying the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood and much more. Okay, so it is evident that carbon dioxide has to be continuously provided to the cells, and oxygen has to be continuously provided to the cell, and carbon dioxide should be taken, okay, released out to the atmosphere. Now this process of exchange of oxygen from the atmosphere with the carbon dioxide produced by the cells is called as breathing, commonly known as respiration. So place your hands on the chest and you can feel the chest moving up and down. Yes or no? When I'm breathing, you can see all of it is coming above and then it is going down. Why? Because when I'm taking in oxygen, my body is trying to make this space to take in more oxygen. Understood? To take in more oxygen, my body is forming the space. So that space is why your entire body, now again you'll study about your thoracic chamber and all of that, your body is breathing, going down, breathing. So that is happening because of your body understanding the purpose of you taking in oxygen, and body also understand that this person needs to take more oxygen. So I will provide the space for this person. Okay, I will provide the space for this person. Okay, just give me 1 second, students. I'll just bring your Tattva books as well, because Tattva books has really good concise notes. So I'll be able to give you some, tabular columns and all of that. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. Now I'll tell you some few things that you need to know. Okay. Few things that you need to know. See. Breathing is what? Breathing is simply a physical process. That means you inhale and you exhale. Okay, inhale means what? I am taking in. So this is me. Okay, this is me. I am, oh my god, one nice. Okay, I am taking oxygen from the atmosphere. Okay, I am taking oxygen from the atmosphere and I am giving back carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. This is breathing. That means you're physically just doing an exchange of gases. That's all. But ma'am, what is respiration? Respiration and breathing is different, students, because many students don't understand, because NCERT has given commonly called as respiration. So when we use the term commonly called as respiration, you would have very less chances to understand that what is this respiration. So respiration is actually a chemical process. Okay, it's actually a chemical process where breakdown, okay, chemical process where you're breaking down something. Okay, breakdown of glucose is happening. Breakdown of glucose is happening. Now, why should this breakdown happen? This breakdown is going to happen for us to yield ATP. You understand? To yield ATP, energy, right? Energy is required. Why? Because all the body has to function. So breathing and respiration, if you see, they are two different processes, but we commonly called breathing as respiration. Why? Because here also, for that chemical process to happen, we need oxygen, okay, for the breakdown, okay, and again we will release carbon dioxide. Got it? So this is the difference first you need to understand. Okay, I did not get the Tattva book, so again I have to message. Yes, done. Now I hope we'll get the book. Okay, yes, students. So is this clear? Chalo. So we'll go to the next paragraph. Now, respiratory organs. So this is actually something that you will study in your animal kingdom. Okay, and we have already studied from this. What is that? In this NCERT, we have already studied animal kingdom. But again, we are going to do a revision of it. See, mechanism of breathing vary among different groups of animals depending mainly on their habitats and level of organization. Okay, depending on their habitats and levels of organization. Lower invertebrates like sponges, coelacanths, flatworms, etc. exchange oxygen with carbon dioxide by simple diffusion. That is, just imagine, they're very simple organ, no? Sponges, all your porifera, they're all simple organs. So what they're going to do? They're going to do it by simple diffusion. Like this is the body, okay, this is the body of a sponge, and they're not going to take the effort of doing it like us. So instead of that, they're going to do simple diffusion. Okay, simple diffusion. Same thing goes with your coelacanths and your flatworms. Okay, now you cannot expect leeches, or you cannot expect your Taenia solium or your tapeworm to do maximized respiration. Oh, lungs I will use, gills I will use. Why? You're simple. You keep it simple, right? So they will do simple diffusion over their entire body. Now earthworm use their moist cuticle. This is very important. Students, earthworm use their moist cuticle. Okay, and insects have a network of tubes called tracheal system. Okay, so tracheal tubes to transport atmospheric air within the body. Okay, so understand that this earthworm. So when we were learning about your frog and cockroach, we learned a little about the tracheal system. I think when we talked specially about your frog, we spoke about about your cockroach, we spoke about your tracheal system, right? And we spoke about spiracles. So that is what here they're talking about. Insects have a network of tubes, and I drew, remember all of you, I drew it like my hand, like on my hand, like a little ghost hand I had drawn, like full sharp and all of that. So that ghost hand is nothing but your tracheal. So students, earthworm, okay, earthworm is doing what? With the help of their moist skin. Now this is how a earthworm is going to look like. First time you would be seeing an orange color earthworm. Okay, okay, this is the earthworm. Yes or no? Now the earthworm is going to do because of the moist cuticle. Okay, so from the so where do you find earthworm? Actually, you have to dig, right? You have to dig. Now imagine Oh my god, all the dogs have got activated today because I'm taking class. So students, this is the soil. Okay, this is the soil. So now if I dig the top soil, I'll be able to find an earthworm here. Okay, so how is this earthworm going to respire? And if you notice also, you will only find your earthworm in a moist condition. Have you ever noticed that? Your soil, no, topsoil is maybe dry, but not necessary that every time it should be dry. But then that soil, let's say when you go down, okay, to the next layer of soil, you notice that whatever the rain or whatever water was on the topsoil, it has got settled in the next layer. So whenever we move this sand, no, you will notice that the area where this earthworm is there, it's a very moist condition. Why so? Because they have to respire. Okay, they have to respire. Now, insects networks of tubes called a tracheal system to transport atmospheric air within the body. Now, special vascularized structure called gills are present. Okay, usually in aquatic arthropods and mollusks, where vascularized bags called lungs are present in terrestrial form. So, in land, on land, the animals respire with the form of lungs, and on water, they respire with the form of gills. Okay, gills. Understood? Yes or no? Okay. Among vertebrates, fishes use gills, where reptiles, birds, and mammals respire through lungs. Amphibians like frog can respire through your moist skin, and this condition, I have told you. Did I leave a space here? Okay, I'll write it down, students. Here, see? Okay. These two people. Who are these two? This is your earthworm. Okay. Earthworm and your own frog. Okay, both of them are going to respire with the help of moisture skin. Okay, then cell membrane, you don't have to worry. Then you can see all these mammals and birds, all of them are respiring with the help of lungs. And then you can see fishes and some mollusks. Okay, some mollusks, some aquatic arthropods, all respiring with the help of gills. Then insect you can see with the help of trachea and spiracles. Again, grasshopper and housefly. So insects you can see it under them. Okay, insects you can see it under them. Now students, see, whenever we use the term skin, okay, that it is respiring with the help of moist skin. You have to remember one thing: moist skin respiration or skin respiration is called as cutaneous respiration. Okay, cutaneous respiration, that is when the respiration is happening with the help of skin, it is called as cutaneous respiration. Understood? Now, if the respiration is happening in the with the help of lungs, okay, we always call it pulmonary respiration. Pulmonary respiration. Got it? Pulmonary respiration, because it is happening with the help of lungs. So moist skin, your example you can remember is going to be your frog. Okay, frog. Again, moist cuticle also. Your earthworm you can remember. Okay, earthworm you can remember. Lungs, obviously all the terrestrial organisms. Okay, all the terrestrial organisms. And remember your amphibians also, including your frog also. On land it is going to use lungs itself. Okay, on land it is going to use lungs, then us mainly mammals, and today we are going to learn a lot about humans itself. Okay, birds. For birds, student, there is going to be a supplementary, we tell, no, like an add-on, we tell, no, like whenever we are ordering burger around, they'll add-on cheese. That means what? What's the meaning of add-on cheese? Add-on cheese means extra. Like that, here also we have a supplement. Okay, we have a supplementary air sac. Okay, air sac provided. Now if you're climbing to such a big heights and you feel like, oh, breathless, they tell you, no, carry oxygen cylinder in some places. So why do they tell that? It's because they know that this person can go breathless. It's not just person to person, it's just because of the height and the altitude. They'll tell that you have to carry oxygen cylinder. Okay, so that you have to understand. So same way, birds also have a supplementary air sac, where they will be provided with more air or oxygen because they are flying at a good height. Is this clear? Chalo, let's go to the next paragraph. Yes, from here we are going to start the actual thing. Okay, we are going to start the actual thing about your human respiratory system. I hope. Yes. So human respiratory system. Okay. Let's see. We have a pair of external nostrils opening out above the upper lips. External nostrils are there, right? From through these nostrils, it will lead to the nasal chamber. Okay. So we start with the help of these two nostrils. Okay, these two nostrils are there in your nose. Through that, it is going into this nasal chamber. I'm not at all good at drawing nose, students. That is one organ that I cannot draw at all. Okay, this is your nose. It looks like a person is wearing glass and looking down, but yeah. Okay, we have a pair of external nostrils opening out above the upper lips. It leads to a nasal chamber through the nasal passage. Okay, so it's going through the nasal chamber through the nasal passage. The nasal chamber opens into pharynx. Okay, we got the book. Okay, yes. So Tattva say I will make you write some boxes, extra information it is, but it is good. Okay, it's a very nice, concise book. So I thought I will use that for you guys. Okay, because some students actually like, learning a little extra. So let's see where we have, where is the chapter? 1 second, students. Okay, I have written some extra information, so that I will send it for you. I will tell you people. Where is it? Okay, so got. Okay, so here students, we have a pair of external nostrils opening into the opening like above the upper lips. It will lead into the nasal chamber through the nasal passage. Now the nasal chamber will open into a pharynx. This you have studied in digestion also. Pharynx is the small funnel shaped structure, a portion which is common passage for food as well as air. Okay, it is a common passage for what? Food as well as air. The pharynx open through larynx region into the trachea. Okay, so it is going into your voice box. Okay, the larynx will open through the pharynx will open through the larynx into the trachea. So this is the trachea, the tube-like structure. I'll show the diagram. And this larynx is your sound box. Now larynx is made up of 9. It's a cartilaginous structure. Okay, this question can come for all of you. It's a cartilaginous structure. Okay, I want to show you guys the diagram. You have to search a little. Okay, search a little, then only we will be able to see. Let's see if it's here. I have written it everywhere. Okay, the skill that ma'am has, that ma'am writes everywhere, everything. I have drawn this diagram. This diagram. I hope all of you are able to see it. 1 second. See, this is the diagram. Can you see? Through this trachea. Okay, I can't see, students. So this is the trachea. Okay, this is the partitions. I'll draw this for you guys as well. Okay, so this you understand right now. Everything I will teach you slowly. Yes. So larynx is a cartilaginous box which help in the sound production and hence called the sound box. So it is a cartilaginous structure. Okay, it is a cartilaginous structure that is going to actually help you in breathing. Help with the sound. Okay, help with the sound, and it is also a part of the breathing because pharynx is going to open. That air is going to go through the pharynx, from pharynx to trachea with the help of larynx, because larynx is placed here. Yes, so larynx is placed here. Now during swallowing, glottis can be covered by a thin elastic cartilaginous flap called as epiglottis. So students understand, because food and air have a common passage, we have to make sure that this trachea's covering will have an epiglottis, which is a flap-like structure. Okay, flap-like structure. So let's say this is the bottle. Okay, this is the bottle. Now if I close it, that means what? Now I'm eating food. Okay, this will be closed, so the food will not enter here, right? Same way, air, if air is entering, this closing should be pakka, because we do not want mixing up of air in the food passage and the food in the air. Okay, so that mixing should never happen. Okay, that mixing should never happen. Is this clear? Chalo. Now epiglottis prevent the entry of food into the larynx. Okay, so see, epiglottis will make sure that the food does not enter into the voice box. Okay, trachea is a straight tube extending up to the mid thoracic cavity, which divides at the level of the 5th thoracic vertebrae into the right and the left bronchi. Each bronchi undergoes repeated division to form the secondary and the tertiary bronchi and bronchioles, ending up in a very thin terminal bronchioles. The trachea, primary, secondary, tertiary, and the initial bronchioles are supported by incomplete cartilaginous ring. This I'll show you. Okay. Now, each terminal bronchi gives rise to a number of very thin, irregular, walled and vascularized bag-like structure called your alveoli. So all this while we have spoke about alveoli in our smaller classes, not telling that it is the air sac, it is the air sac. So today you're going to actually study what is the structure made up of, how is it going to look like, okay? Now, the branching network of bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli comprises the lungs. So we have two lungs which are covered by a double layer pleura with pleural fluid between them. It reduces friction on the lung surface. The outer pleural membrane is in close contact with the thoracic. So look at the structure, students. So what are they talking? See, this is the epiglottis. So this is the flap-like structure. Okay, this is the flap-like structure that is protecting the larynx from food entry. Okay, food will not enter into the sound box. The sound box is made up of a 9 cartilaginous ring where we have 3 paired and 3 unpaired. Okay. Now this is the trachea, which is the windpipe. Okay. Through this windpipe, the air only has to enter. We do not want food to enter. So the air will enter. And here, can you see the partitioning here? This partition happened in your 5th thoracic vertebrae. In the 5th thoracic vertebrae. Okay, 5th thoracic vertebrae. So I taught you thoracic vertebrae. No, T1 to T12 will be there. In that, the 5th position, no, T5. T5 is where this trachea has got taken partition to become primary and secondary. From primary and secondary, you can see again further division is going to happen up to bronchioles. Okay, terminal bronchioles. So here you can see bronchus. Okay, here you can see pleural membrane. So students, lungs also is a very precious organ. We have to have an outer pleura and inner pleural membrane. So we do have that covering as well. Okay, and in between you will have the pleural fluid as well, which will protect from any kind of friction. So lungs is there, student. Lungs is a pinkish color. Okay, pinkish color structure. Now I will draw the structure and I'll just explain you. Before that, I think I had to tell you few more points maybe. Okay. So much I have written, students. So much I have written for all of you. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, no need that much because I feel it will be extra for my board students. Okay. Okay. Yes. I'm going to draw the diagram that I've drawn in my book. So they told that there is a trachea. Okay, trachea is partitioning at the 5th thoracic vertebrae. Okay, 5th thoracic vertebrae like this. Yes or no? Like this partition has happened and this is separation has happened. Okay, now here you have to remember that we have a pinkish color lungs. Okay, pinkish color lungs. More inside you have to draw this. Okay. It's a pinkish color lung system. Now this structure, this trachea especially, so they have C-shape, okay, incomplete cartilaginous ring. Okay, what do they have? C-shape incomplete cartilaginous ring. So what I'm going to draw here is C-shape incomplete cartilaginous. Can you see here? I have not drawn it in the back side. Okay, so this is how the structure is going to look. Yes or no? Like this, like this, like this. Okay, this is how the structure is going to look. Why have I drawn an incomplete cartilaginous ring? Very simple. So this is the bottom. Okay, this is my hand. Okay, I don't know how much I can show. Okay, let's say this Bluetooth. Okay, so student, this is an incomplete cartilaginous ring. Why? I'll tell you. This is like this. Okay, now if the trachea is there, okay, if the trachea is there, you should remember that this trachea is a pipe where the air is going to enter inside. Yes or no? It is a pipe where the air is going to enter inside. Now when the air is going to enter, definitely the trachea is going to expand a little, contract a little. When the air is not there, definitely it's going to contract a little. I'm not telling it's going to pump like the heart, but then definitely a little bit of relaxation and contraction is going to happen because air is continuously entering through this pipe. So if I put a complete cartilaginous ring and lock this trachea, there are chances that the tracheal tissues will collapse. Yes or no? Don't you agree to this? Okay, because there is high chances that the tracheal, okay, high chances that the tracheal, tissues will collapse. Okay, tissues will collapse if we do not put an incomplete cartilaginous ring. Agreed. So this is the reason to have an incomplete cartilaginous ring. I hope this is clear to all of you. Yes. So now if this trachea is going to partition, it is going to partition again. Okay, this more partitions are going to come. Like this is going to continue. Okay, going to continue like this and like this, and it is going to end in a balloon like structure. Okay, we'll tell balloon why. I'll tell you. Like this, a balloon like structure called as the alveoli. Okay, what is this called as? Alveoli. And this is the air sac. Okay, this is the air sac. So in this only the air is going to get in, and it is like a balloon. I'll tell you why it is like a balloon, because if the air is not there, it is going to, it's going to reduce in size. But there is always going to be some amount of air inside, which you will study in the further. Okay, which you will study in the further. Now students, how this partition happened and all that you have to know, no? See, remember, so let's write the flow of air. Okay, so air is entering. Okay, air has entered. Where will it enter? It will enter through your nostrils. Okay, through the nostrils, it will come to your nasal passage. It is going to enter into your nasal passage and then reach your nasal chamber. Okay, so they write it entered the nasal chamber through nasal passage. The nasal chamber. From nasal chamber, it has reached the pharynx, which is a funnel shaped structure. From pharynx, it has to reach the trachea, but between that, we have a very, very important guest there, that is your larynx. Okay, larynx, who is what? The sound box. Who is the sound box? Now, the sound box is made up of 9 cartilaginous rings. Okay, it's made up of 9 cartilaginous rings. Okay, where you have 3 paired and 3 unpaired. And 3 unpaired. Okay, now this is a cartilaginous layer, and you have to remember this. This is also called, sound box, right? Sound box is also called the sound box. Now it will reach the trachea. Now from the trachea, again partitions are going to happen. That is in the 5th thoracic vertebrae. So now let's consider this portion. Okay, this is where I have done the partition. No? So this portion which I am drawing here is the 5th thoracic. This question will come, students, as MCQ. So remember this. 5th thoracic vertebrae. 5th thoracic vertebrae. Understood? On the 5th thoracic vertebrae, the partition is going to happen. Is this clear? Very nice. Now, on top of this, we have the sound box. Okay, we have the sound box and we have the epiglottis. Okay, this really is the epiglottis. Okay, we have the epiglottis like this. Now, this epiglottis is actually a flap-like structure. Okay, present on the glottis. What is this going to do, students? This is going to close and open so that there is no passage of food into the trachea. Okay, food into the air. Air shouldn't, food should enter where food should enter, air should enter where air should enter. No mixing up can happen. Okay, no mixing up can happen. Now, after this, the trachea is going to partition to form the primary and the secondary. Yes or no? So, trachea will partition to form the primary. Yes. Okay, students, always remember it's bronchi and then bronchioles. Okay, to primary, then secondary, then tertiary. Okay, then initial bronchioles. See, here only bronchioles word will come. Okay, many students will write first only bronchioles and key. Bronchioles is now bronchi. Okay, bronchioles is later bronchi. Okay, now here, after the initial bronchioles, you can go for terminal bronchioles. Okay, terminal bronchioles. From terminal bronchioles, you can go to respiratory. We can write respiratory bronchioles. It's not mentioned in NCERT, but we tell usually respiratory bronchioles. Then we go to your alveoli duct. Okay, and then to alveoli. So this is the flow of air. Okay, this is the flow of air. That is, the flow of air starts from your nostrils, where the air has entered from the outside atmosphere. It has entered inside. Okay, the most important flow. So oxygen has entered inside through the nostrils. From the nostrils, it will go through the nasal passage. Nasal passage to it will reach the nasal chamber. Then from there to the pharynx, pharynx to the trachea with the help of larynx in between. Okay, larynx in between. From the trachea, how does the partition happen, students? Here only it will go to the primary bronchi, then to the secondary, then to the tertiary, then to initial, then to terminal, then to respiratory, then to alveoli duct, and then to alveoli. Okay, alveoli. Clear, all of you? Yes, it is very clear, no? Now, we there is the lungs. Okay, this lungs, to go to the top only. Students, this lungs, let's say this is the inner membrane. Which layer do I draw? Okay, let's say this is the darker color. I hope the color is different. Or better, I will draw the inside layer. Okay. Students, it will not be in proper shape, okay, but not like this also. This is how much I can draw. Yeah. There's an outer layer and an inner layer. So no, this outer layer is made up of outer pleura. Okay, outer pleura. And then we have an inner pleura. Pleural layer. Okay, inner pleural membrane. Okay, inner pleural membrane. Between this, there is going to be fluid. Okay, it's called the pleural fluid. Like how you have your pericardium and all of that, no? Like that or the same thing. Okay, pleural fluid. Clear? So this is the whole thing. I have tried my best level to draw the diagram. So in between, students, here you can see heart is there and then diaphragm is there, which you're going to learn a lot about diaphragm when we talk about inspiration and expiration. That means inhalation and exhalation. When we talk about, we're going to talk a lot about your what is that, diaphragm. Okay, so remember diaphragm. So pleural fluid I wrote. Yes. Now see, lining, whereas the inner pleural membrane is in contact with the lung surface. The part starting with the external nostrils up to the terminal bronchioles constitute the conducting membrane. So up to here, students, up to your terminal bronchioles, it is going to be a part of your conducting membrane. Now I'll tell you what is conducting membrane. Let's just understand this. These all people are going to be the part of the respiratory membrane. Okay? These all are going to be the part of respiratory membrane. Got it? Respiratory membrane. So here you can see that they're telling these are all going to be the part of the conducting part, whereas the alveoli and the ducts from the respiratory or the exchange part of the respiratory system. The conducting part, what it is going to do? The conducting part transports the atmospheric air to the alveoli. So it is not going to technically help in the exchange. It is like, what I'm trying to say is, it is not the exchange membrane, it is not the diffusion membrane where the exchange of gases will happen, but they are going to help for getting the air, no, transportation. So students, it is simple. Now let's say like cooking. Okay, cooking. Now your mom cooks, so you go and buy the vegetables, so you become the conducting part. You, your dad and your sibling is going to be the conducting part. Who is going to do the actual cooking? Mom is going to do the actual cooking, so she'll become the cooking part of it. So there, that is the actual place where the cooking is happening. These are all the raw materials, right? So like that, these are all the people who are going to bring the air, do the different things like humidification, filtration, other things, and going to bring the air to the body. Here is the place where the actual exchange is going to happen. Okay, so the conducting part is going to transport the atmospheric air to the alveoli, clears it from foreign particles, okay, humidifies it, also brings the air to the body temperature. Exchange part is the site of actual diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and the atmospheric air. Okay, between the blood and the atmospheric air. Now, this is very important, okay? The lungs are situated in the thoracic cavity, which is anatomically an airtight chamber. That is the thoracic chamber. So listen carefully, that the lungs is present inside a thoracic chamber, and this is a thoracic chamber, and they are telling that this thoracic chamber, okay, thoracic chamber has around 4 people involving in it. Okay, 4 people involving in it. Now, who are the 4 people? Let's see. Dorsally, okay, dorsally, they're telling that we have vertebral column. Or if you agree or not, okay, we have vertebral column. Okay, vertebral column. Now, ventrally, okay, ventrally, we have sternum. This also I've taught you in locomotion and movement, sternum. Okay, laterally, this side what I have, ribs I have. Okay, all of you can touch and feel your ribs. And down, okay, terminally, that is to your lower side. Okay, lower side, you have dome shaped diaphragm. Okay, diaphragm. So this is an airtight, isn't it? It's like a jail, right? Dorsally also. Imagine all your parents are standing everywhere. Okay, this is you. Okay, this is you. This is you. And imagine your maths teacher is standing here. Okay, maths teacher is standing here. Your mother is standing here. Okay, your mother is standing here, and your father is standing here. Okay, your father is standing here, and your, let's say, your principal is standing here. Principal is standing here. Okay, principal is standing here. Now you are in a jail. Why? Because you don't have any way to escape. Do you have any way to escape? No, you do not have any way to escape because they have circled you. Same way, let's say this person is standing dorsally to you, one person is standing ventrally to you. Now I've drawn in a circle. One person is standing laterally to you, and one person is standing at the lower end. So that means what? At all the positions you are locked. Now students, when the air is coming in, so laterally by the ribs, and the anatomical setup of the lungs in the thorax is such that any change in the volume of the thoracic cavity will be reflected in the lung cavity. Yes or no? If the thoracic cavity gets little larger, okay, I'm breathing in, you can see my thoracic cavity becoming bigger. That means automatically my lungs also volume is going to increase, and lungs is going to take in more of oxygen. Okay, such an arrangement is essential for breathing, as we cannot directly alter the pulmonary volume. Can I alter my lung volume every then and now? We cannot do that. But to do breathing, we'll be able to alter a little bit of it. Okay, little bit of it, but not a lot. Okay, not a lot. Now what you have studied, you have to write it. Before that, before that, I had written some more things for you people, but I cannot find it. That's the biggest problem. Okay, biggest problem is finding where I wrote it. I wrote it in many parts, students, many parts. See here, I wrote breathing. I have notes, okay, and you can blindly trust my notes because I write notes from NCERT itself. But sometimes I add extra information, okay, to help students. But students is not able to find it. Ma'am is not able to find it. Is the problem. Okay. Tattva is there. Tattva's information I'll give you in the last. But before that, I think I haven't written it in this book. So I have around like 4 books where I write my notes. I mean, it's over one by one. So I think it's not in this. Okay, in this I haven't written, but I had some extra information for all of you. It's okay. We will learn it in the next class when I take a break. I'll go and find the book. Okay, chalo. Now, students, look here. What we learned, we are going to write. Okay, we learned, we are going to write. The first thing you have to learn or know is that the thoracic chamber. Thoracic chamber. What is thoracic chamber? You have to understand, and you have to know it by heart. You have to know it by heart. So dorsally, okay, dorsally, what do you have? The vertebral column. Dorsally, you have the vertebral column. Okay, ventrally, you have the sternum. See, this you have studied in your locomotion and movement chapter, which you will be studying again with me here. But you should know that, these things I have studied. Okay, it shouldn't be like, oh my god, what is ma'am teaching? I do not know anything. And students, ventrally you have sternum. Then you have laterally. Touch to your lateral side and see. You will see the ribs. Okay, you can feel your ribs. And then, okay, then you have on the lower side. Okay, lower side you have the diaphragm. Now some important things that we need to take from this is like a proper airtight container. This is a proper airtight container. Yes or no? This is a proper airtight container. Now this airtight container is going to technically help in increasing the volume. That is, if my pulmonary volume, pulmonary means my lung volume, okay? If my pulmonary volume has to increase, okay, if it has to increase, then my thoracic chamber, okay, should also increase in volume. Thoracic chamber also should increase. If my thoracic chamber does not increase, the lung volume is not going to increase. Let me tell you that if volume, always remember, volume is inversely proportional to pressure, or in other words, you can write pressure is inversely proportional to volume. This we know from Boyle's law. Okay, that is, if my volume is increasing, if my pulmonary volume is increasing, then I have to make sure that my pressure is decreasing. The same thing, if my pressure is increasing, okay, that means my volume has to decrease. So students, you can think of this in a very life example. That is, when your volume increases, okay, you have to lower your pressure. That means what? When you're very angry, okay, you're shouting, that means you have to calm your pressure down. You should be like, okay, you're shouting, don't increase your pressure. Okay, you might be shouting out of fun or maybe out of excitement, but sometimes when we shout, what happens, your automatically pressure also increases. No, you're shouting and the pressure increases. Now that means when your pressure is high, that means when your BP is high, you have to make sure your volume is low. This volume is low, so that it does not hurt a person who is standing in front of you. So like that, you can imagine if you want to, not necessary. Okay, these are some small things that we remember, because when you go for exam, no, so many things will be there in your head and you will not be able to process what do I remember, what I have forgotten, all this. So this law you have to remember. Okay, this law you have to remember, because we are going to use this law for both inspiration and expiration. Okay, inspiration and expiration. Those who haven't marked your attendance, like the video right now. Okay, right now you can like the video, because this content is so good and you have to. It got stuck. Now, very important topics. Okay, now what is respiration? And it has few steps. That is, respiration involves the following steps. First, breathing or pulmonary ventilation, by which atmospheric air is drawn in and carbon dioxide rich alveolar air is released out. Yes or no? So breathing or your pulmonary, okay, pulmonary ventilation, by which atmospheric air is going to come in and carbon dioxide is going to be released out. Now, diffusion of gases across the alveolar membrane, transport of gases by blood, diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and tissue, utilization of oxygen by the cells of the catabolic reaction, and resultant release of carbon dioxide. Okay, resultant release of carbon dioxide. So I've drawn a very nice diagram for this. I will show you the diagram. Okay, I'll draw the diagram for you. So students, this notes, when I write, I draw my own diagrams and I learn some things. Okay, that I'm sharing with you people. So if I read like this, I'll not understand. I have to write and show you, like draw and show. So the respiration, the steps of respiration which you're going to see. Okay, 1 second. I think now it's okay. First thing. Okay, first thing first. So this is the environment. Okay. This is the environment. From environment, what is going to happen? First thing is oxygen is going to come in. So what they have told, pulmonary ventilation happens. Okay, so here this first step is going to be your pulmonary ventilation, or your process of taking in air, which is simply called as breathing. Okay, breathing. Correct? First step is done. Okay, first step is done. Now, what is the second step? Second step is where the thing that we don't want, who is that? Carbon dioxide is going to go out. Carbon dioxide is going to, I should have written it in the middle, students, so because both the sides have to write 1 points. 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's say this is the environment. Okay. This is your cloud. This is the environment or atmosphere. Okay, what is going to happen? First thing first, oxygen is going to come in. Okay, oxygen is going to come in, and this I will call it as pulmonary ventilation or slash breathing. Yes. Second step is going to be where the carbon dioxide is going back to the atmosphere. Okay, going back to the atmosphere, which I call expiration. Okay, expiration from the alveoli. That clear? Now, where is this going to go? Where is this going to go? This is going out from my lungs. Yes or no? This is going out from my lungs. This might look like a butterfly to you, so I'll draw the trachea as well. So what is the best thing about learning from images is you'll never forget from diagrams. If you learn it from diagrams, you'll never forget. Okay, you'll always remember that ma'am had drawn something with yellow color, blue color. So you'll always remember this. Okay, so it's lungs. Now what is going to happen? From the lungs, the oxygen. Okay, from the lungs, the oxygen is going to enter into the bloodstream. Because it has to supply the oxygen. Yes or no? It has to supply the oxygen. So this is your blood. So oxygen is going to enter inside. And in the blood, who is going to help? Hemoglobin is going to help in the carrying of the oxygen. Yes, correct. Now, not only carrying of oxygen, it is also going to help in giving back the carbon dioxide to the lungs. Okay, it is also going to help in giving back the carbon dioxide to the lungs. So here, if we go back and see, first step we have done. Breathing or pulmonary ventilation, by which the atmospheric air is drawn in, carbon dioxide rich alveolar air is released out. Second, diffusion of gases across the alveolar membrane. So that we did not draw because we cannot draw the alveoli. Okay, but lungs we have drawn instead of that. Okay, see now instead of lungs, if I draw, okay, instead of lungs, I draw alveoli. Okay, I can draw the alveoli. This is the alveoli. Okay. Always, students, when you are sitting and learning, make sure that you're learning properly. Okay, and not just doing half and half. Because in life there is no shortcut. Same way in your education also there is no shortcut. Okay. So this is the alveoli. Yes, this is the alveoli. So through the alveoli, exchange is going to happen. Yes, exchange is going to happen. So this is present in the lungs. Okay, from the lungs. So here alveoli exchange has happened. So here we can write the next point. Okay, the next point is okay, alveolar diffusion happened. Okay, alveolar diffusion happened. Done. Now oxygen got into the blood. Yes, blood vessel. Now this blood is going to carry this oxygen. Okay, carry this oxygen with the help of hemoglobin and give it to whom? To the tissues. Yes. So what is going to be the third step? Transport of gases into the blood vessels. So that is also the next one. Diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and tissues. This is a very important thing. Okay, very important thing. I'll tell you why. See how beautiful the diagram looks, students. You feel like studying. Okay, instead of boring, lectures, you'll feel like studying looking at the diagram. Okay, you'll feel like studying looking at the diagram. I'll tell you why. Because see, now students, tissue. Okay, tissue is there. Tissue, what it is going to do? It is going to utilize, right? It is going to utilize all the oxygen that was given to it in the starting. Yes or no? It is going to utilize all the oxygen that was given to them and this tissue is going to give the carbon dioxide. Yes or no? It is going to, so the blood is taking the oxygen and coming, and the blood will supply the oxygen, okay, to the tissues, and the blood is going to take the used up carbon dioxide from the tissues. Yes or no? So here your next step, right? Your next step here was transport of gases into blood vessels. Okay, into blood vessels. Yes. Then here what happened? Diffusion, okay, of oxygen into tissues, and from tissues we took the carbon dioxide. So here we took the tissues, from the tissues we took the used up, whatever is left, carbon dioxide, to the blood. Then what are we going to do? These tissues are going to use up the oxygen that was given to them, right? So the last step is going to be, that is the fifth step, is going to be utilization. Okay, utilization of oxygen. Got it? Utilization of the oxygen by tissue. So this is the beautiful diagram of the 5 steps. I hope all of you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed drawing this. So this is what I was learning while I was reading. I used to write like this. Okay, 5 steps of respiration. Okay, 5 steps of respiration. So students, now you will have any doubt in the respiration points? See, breathing or pulmonary ventilation by the atmospheric air is drawn into the carbon dioxide. Okay, rich in alveolar air is released out. Diffusion of gases across the alveolar membrane. Transport of gases by the blood. Diffusion of gases between the blood and the tissues. Utilization of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. Ho gaya. Okay, ho gaya. So these are the 5 steps. Okay, so first step, right? Second step, third step, fourth step, and the fifth step. So we're done with the 5 steps of respiration. Done. Now let's go to the mechanism of breathing. The mechanism of breathing. Breathing involves 2 stages. Okay, inspiration, during which the atmospheric air is drawn inside. Okay, inspiring means you take in the air. Okay, expiration, by which the alveolar air is released out. The movement of air into and out of the lungs is carried out by creating a pressure gradient between the lungs and the atmosphere. This I'll teach you. Inspiration can occur if the pressure within the lungs, that is the intrapulmonary pressure, is less than the atmospheric pressure. That is, there is a negative pressure in the lungs with respect to the atmospheric pressure. Similarly, expiration takes place when the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure. So for this I will have to teach you. I think I didn't leave space. Oh no, students, we'll go down and write. Okay, yes. See, expiration takes place when the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure. Okay, the diaphragm and the specialized set of muscles called as the external and the intercostal muscle between the ribs help in the generating of such gradients. Now, inspiration is initiated by contraction of the diaphragm, which increases the volume of the thoracic chamber, and the contraction of the external intercostal muscles. Okay, now before I go into that, I will make you just learn this. Okay, now what have they told, ma'am? Okay, we did not understand anything. If you understood also, ma'am, please explain us what was told there. Okay, chalo. So this we just skip it here. We have nothing to do with it. Okay, friends, I have taught one topic called as basics of zoology, where you can go and check. I have taught few foundation. For those students who are in boards and find it very difficult to understand biology, you can definitely check that video out. Okay, yes. So look here, inspiration. Oh, process work. Okay, inspiration. What is inspiration? Inhaling. All of you inhale. Okay, all of you inhale now. That means what? You're taking in air. Now students, if I want to take in air, this oxygen from the atmosphere, I want to take it inside my lungs. You tell me, if something has to move inside or outside, it will always move from what you studied in chemistry, from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Correct? Now, atmospheric air pressure is going to be 760 mmHg. And my lung pressure, see students, even though we tell that pulmonary pressure cannot be adjusted, we cannot adjust the atmospheric pressure at any cost. You cannot do any manipulation with your atmospheric pressure. What you can do, you can change your so inside the lungs, the pressure that is going to be there, it's called as intrapulmonary pressure. Intrapulmonary pressure. Now I can change the intrapulmonary pressure. How can I change the intrapulmonary pressure? I will decrease my pressure by 558 mmHg. Always remember, from 760 I can -2 or +2. Sorry, I should have written. I can always do a plus or minus. But yeah, during forceful expiration, it can go up to 764, otherwise no. So I made it into 758. Now automatically air is going to move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Now the air has got into my lungs. Now what is my job? I have to increase the volume, okay, because I decreased my pressure. Yes or no? I decreased the lung pressure became less, so automatically my volume is going to increase. Volume means what? My thoracic chamber has to get broader. Okay, thoracic chamber has to get broader. Now for thoracic chamber to get broader, first thing that is going to contract and relax is going to be my diaphragm, because diaphragm is a very main important part of this whole thing, right? So first thing that is going to happen after the air has entered is where my diaphragm, before we even respiration happens, the diaphragm would have contracted. See, now when we tell contracted, we always think that, oh ma'am, size decreases, but no. So when diaphragm is like this, diaphragm is like this. When it contracts, it becomes like this. So this is when it relaxes. This is when it contracts. So when the diaphragm contracts, it actually gets flattened. It actually gets flattened. But it becomes flat. Now since it is getting flat, what happens? More air can enter inside. Okay, something that was like this will become like this. So more air will get in. Now as it flattens, students, there are other muscles, okay, with the diaphragm. To help diaphragm, there are two other muscles called as external intercostal muscle and internal intercostal. Internal intercostal muscles. In your NCERT, we focus on external intercostal muscle. So I'm just erasing this. Your external intercostal muscle also contracts. Why? To provide the space. And because of which continued rib and sternum. The ribs and the sternum is going to raise. So automatically when this racing is going to happen, the volume is going to increase and more oxygen can keep coming in. Yes, more oxygen can keep coming in. Yes or no, agree? So students, inspiration, how does it happen? On a very basic note, that outside atmospheric air is there, the pressure is going to be 760 mmHg. I am no one to alter the atmospheric pressure. Am I anyone to alter the atmospheric pressure? No ma'am, you cannot alter atmospheric pressure. Even if you're a teacher, you cannot alter. So I cannot change the atmospheric pressure. What can I change? I can change my lung pressure, which is the intrapulmonary pressure. So atmospheric pressure is 760 mmHg, intrapulmonary pressure is 758 mmHg. I can do plus or minus 2. So once this happens, automatically oxygen will start coming in because it's moving from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Now when the plan of inspiration happens, my lungs have to increase the volume because they decrease the pressure. So it is understood, okay, when the pressure decreases, volume increases. Now to increase the volume, the first person who has to cooperate in my thoracic chamber is going to be my diaphragm. Because diaphragm is contracted, it is going to, I cannot break this bone, students, but understand it is dome shaped. Okay, so when it contracts, it will become flat shaped. So because when it contracts, it becomes flat and more space will be there. So inside an entire thoracic chamber, how will your thoracic chamber be? These are your ribs. Okay, here is your sternum. Okay, this is your sternum and these are your ribs. Okay, ribs connected to the sternum. Now here you will have the diaphragm. This entire thing is like a jail. Okay, now to increase the surface area, we all of them have to cooperate, right? So what is going to happen? The diaphragm is going to contract and it is going to flatten, and the external intercostal muscles also are going to contract. Okay, external intercostal muscles are going to be present here. Like if you move the ribs, you'll be able to see them like this. Okay, like this, like this, like this. One will be like this, and above one, like one like this, one will be going like this. Okay, external intercostal muscles will contract, and what has happened, student? The ribs and the sternum is going to raise. That's why when you're breathing, you can feel that the ribs is going above, it is getting raised so that the volume increases. As the volume increases, automatically more air will start coming in. Clear? Okay, this is what inspiration is all about. Now look here, all of you. See, air entering into the lungs. Okay, you can see as the air enters, can you see the ribs and the sternum is raised? Okay, the rib cage, you can see it has moved. The diaphragm is contracting, means it is flattening. Volume of the thorax increase. So as the thorax volume increases, automatically they had mentioned starting only that the lung volume is also going to increase. Since the lung volume is going to increase, more oxygen can come in. More oxygen can come. Okay, understood? This is what is your inspiration. Okay, what your inspiration is. I've taught you everything with the help of diagram. Lifts up the ribs and the sternum, causing an increase in the volume of the thoracic chamber in the dorsoventral axis. Okay, correct? No, sternum, ventrally, sternum is there. Your laterally, ribs are there. Okay, the overall increase in the thoracic volume causes a similar increase in the pulmonary volume. An increase in pulmonary volume decreases the intrapulmonary pressure to less than atmospheric pressure. Okay, so understood, students? So as the volume increases, automatically the pressure will drop and then the oxygen will start coming in. You can think like this, or you can think that the pressure has decreased, so the volume will automatically increase. Anyway, vice versa, you remember, no problem, which will force the air from outside. But see, this is a better technique. Why I'll tell you, because once you set up the entire things inside, that okay, volume has increased, more oxygen can come in, then after that, because the volume increases, the pressure is going to drop, because you can connect it. There's no particular reason for the pressure to drop now if you learn it in the starting. So this way, if you are able to connect, well and good. Move into the lungs. Inspiration, that is relaxation of diaphragm. Again, expiration is going to be different. Okay, students, will resume back after a break. After that, I'll teach you expiration. Okay. Okay, see you all after 15 minutes. Hello students, I'm back. Okay, so there are a few more things I want to teach you guys because in the starting I forgot to write. So we discussed it, but there are some more things I want to make you write. So we will just finish writing of that and then we'll come back to explanation. Okay. So students, when we spoke about, let's say from trachea, okay, from trachea, you know it is going to form the primary, okay, bronchi. Always remember this, bronchi, okay, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, initial bronchioles. Remember this, initial bronchioles, okay, then terminal bronchioles, terminal bronchioles, then respiratory bronchioles, respiratory bronchioles, okay, alveoli duct, okay, alveoli duct, and then alveoli. Yes or no? This is how much we learned, right? This is the pathway. Now, very specifically, something that you have to remember is that from your primary up to terminal, primary up to terminal bronchi are called as the conducting zone. This also we discussed, ma'am, conducting zone. But I forgot to tell you what happens in the conducting zone. Students, this conducting zone, as I told you the cooking example, here humidification happens. Humidification of the air that you take in, because the air can be dry. To make it to make sure that it is facilitating or getting into our body, you do humidification of the air, then you do conditioning of the air, okay, conditioning of the air, then we set the temperature. That is, conditioning means we set the temperature, no? Now like when, let's say, when we are getting into a room, okay, and there is AC, what do? We immediately set the temperature to our temperature. Maybe three people in the room will not have the same temperature, so conditioning of the air happens. Then filtration happens, okay, filtration happens. So do not think that conducting zone is useless. Conducting zone is actually purifying the air, making sure that the temperature of the air from the outside and inside the body is matching. At the same time, we are adding some moisture content, because outside air can be very dry, because if you are in a place where there is it's a deserted area, or it's very, like, very like the condition is very dry, then definitely humidification will happen inside the to get into the body. So conducting zone is going to do all of this, okay. And then respiratory zone is going to be mainly this two according to NCERT, but there is also respiratory bronchioles. So this is going to be your respiratory zone, or where the actual exchange of gases is going to happen, okay. Respiratory zone, or the exchange, okay, exchange zone is going to be here, where the actual exchange of gases is going to happen. Now the next topic I'm going to teach you, now I'm going to the end of the slides, okay, so that I can just write everything. Next thing that I'm going to talk to you is about a little additional information, that this is the trachea, okay, this is the trachea, okay. I'm drawing a bigger structure so I can just show you everything properly, and I should have drawn trachea in different color, students, but it's okay. Then this is the lungs, okay, this is the lungs, okay, and this is the lungs, okay, this is the lungs. Now these lungs have lobes, okay, these lungs have what? Lobes. And these lobes are created because of, wait 1 second, we just finished drawing. Not this. So students, this lungs is made up of lobes, and this line which I'm drawing is called as the horizontal fissure, Okay, horizontal fissure. And the next one that I'm going to draw, okay, next one I'm going to draw is going to be the oblique fissure. Okay, next one I'm going to draw is going to be the oblique fissure. So students, this one, okay, this one is called the superior lobe. This one is called the middle lobe, and this is obviously going to be called the inferior lobe. Okay, so SL stands for superior lobe. Superior lobe. Got it? Superior lobe, then that is going to be called as the middle lobe, and then it will be called as the inferior lobe. Clear? Now, see, IL inferior lobe. So one thing that you need to remember, okay, one thing that you need to remember, your right lungs will have 3 lobes and your left lungs will have only 2 lobes. Here, your right lungs will have 3 lobes and your left lungs will have only 2 lobes, because there is going to be only one oblique fissure. Okay, there is only going to be one oblique fissure. Now, listen to me carefully. Middle lobe, middle lobe. Now students, the green color that I've drawn is called as the horizontal fissure. So you want me to label, but no space there. Okay, it's called the horizontal fissure. These fissures are going to make the lobe. Okay, and this is called the oblique fissure. This is called the oblique fissure. Understood? So 2 fissures are there. One is called the horizontal fissure, one is called the oblique fissure. The horizontal fissure and the oblique fissure is present on the right lungs, creating 3 lobes called as the superior and the superior, middle and inferior lobe. Okay, and the left lungs, there is only superior and inferior lobe, which is created by one fissure called as the oblique fissure. Is this clear? So this is what I wanted to tell you guys. I hope this is clear. All of you? Perfect. Okay. Yes. Now students, when I spoke about the inner and the outer layer of the lungs, I couldn't draw that greatly. So let's say if I'm drawing the structure here. Okay. This is the structure. Now this outer layer. Okay. Yes, this outer layer is going to be called the parietal pleura. So there I told you, outer pleura and inner pleura. This is going to be called the parietal pleura, and the inner one, okay, the inner one is going to be called as the visceral pleura. Okay, visceral pleura. And between this, what is going to be there? Pleural fluid is going to be there. Okay, between this, pleural fluid is going to be there. So this is everything I wanted to give you an additional information. Okay, additional information. Now, if we go back to expiration, I think their slides are over. Okay, so expiration also I'll write and then I'll come up. Okay, because slides are not there. Here I'll write expiration. Okay, here now expiration. So inspiration, all of you understood. Now we will write expiration. Okay. Now students, expiration is what is going to happen. The air from inside the body. Okay, this is a person. Okay. From inside, that is from the alveoli. Okay, that is from the tissues. The air has to enter into the alveoli. From the alveoli, it has to come out to the atmosphere. Yes or no? Now here, the first thing that we need to understand is, we can talk about the pressure or we can directly talk about the volume. So here, let's talk about the volume. Okay, volume has to decrease. Yes or no? That is because I need to push the air outside, right? Okay, I need to push the air outside. So first thing going to happen is the diaphragm. Okay, diaphragm is going to relax. It is going to form dome shape. Okay, diaphragm is going to relax, so it is going to form a dome shape. Then because the diaphragm relaxed, obviously your external and internal intercostal muscle, right? External intercostal, okay, muscle external intercostal muscle is going to also relax. Because this fellow relax, the ribs and the sternum is going to come in normal position. Is going to come in normal position. Got it? It's going to come back, no? Because raised. Coming back to the normal position. Okay. Now, students, when you looked at all of this, don't you think the thoracic volume has decreased? Yes or no? Thoracic volume decreased. If volume decreases, automatically pressure is going to increase. Now, the task is that this air which is inside my body has to go to the atmosphere. For that, the pressure, now it will move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So, who should have a higher concentration? My body should have a higher concentration. So, for that to happen, students, the atmospheric, okay, this is the atmosphere, this is my lungs. So, my lungs pressure, that is IPP, should be increased to 762 mmHg, because I cannot change the atmospheric pressure, and my atmospheric pressure is going to be 760 mmHg. So the air is automatically going to go from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Agreed, all of you? It's so easy, no? So you have to learn it like a story. Okay, direct diaphragm relaxed, more space is going to come. Because diaphragm relaxed, external intercostal muscles also relax, ribs and the sternum is coming to normal position, and then thoracic volume decrease, so automatically pressure is going to increase. The lung pressure is going to go up to 762. Because of this, the air is going to rush outside. Okay, students, now during forced expiration, sometimes we do forced expiration. Now imagine, for the girls, I will tell a very relatable. If you have pierced your nose, there are chances that when we put the nose stud, the backside, the, I don't know what you call that, that will go inside. Okay, that time we do forced expiration. Okay, so that is very simple example. Forced expiration, student, the pressure can go up to 764 mmHg. Not every time, only when it is forced. Okay, that is maximum. Usually it is plus or minus 2. Sometimes it can go up to 4. This is your expiration. Is this clear? Expiration super duper clear, no? This is all about it. That's all. Okay, now students, one more word that you have to know is expiration is a passive process. Okay, passive process. Okay, but inspiration is going to be active. Yes or no? It is the first thing, and here continuously flow is going to happen, intake of air is going to happen. So this process is going to be an active process. Okay, it's going to be active. Chalo, now let's learn it with the diagram. See, when the air has to be expelled out, it starts from the diaphragm. Diaphragm relaxed and arched upwards. It will form a dome shape, okay, pushing the air outside. Now, because of that, automatically the ribs and the sternum will return to the original position, okay. And the volume of the thorax will be decreased. Automatically, the pressure will increase and it will go up to 762 mmHg, okay. Automatically, air will be expelled out from the lungs. Is this clear? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yes, ma'am. Okay, it is clear now. Now, students, respiratory volumes and capacities. Okay, these are some, like what to tell, some things that you have to by heart. See, tidal volume, that is volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration. It can be approximately 500 ml. That is, a healthy man can inspire an air of approximately 6,000 to 8,000 ml per minute. Okay, so here you have to remember that a normal person, okay, air inspired or expired during normal respiration. Now I'm normally breathing. Am I breathing like extra? No, I'm normally breathing. Okay, normal respiration will be how much? 500 ml. Okay, so that is, a healthy man can respire 6,000 to 8,000 per minute. Okay, so it can be approximately 500 ml for per minute. Okay, that is 500 into your 60 seconds. Okay, per minute it is going, 60 seconds only. Per minute it is going to be 6,000 to 8,000 ml of air per minute. Now, inspiratory reserve volume, additional volume of air. That is, students, when you go to yoga and all, they tell you, no, take as much of air possible. This is force, that is additionally how much air I can take in, that is going to be your inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, a person can inspire by forcible inspiration. This averages to 2500 to 3000. Let me tell you a very shocking thing, that you have to remember these numbers. Okay, you have to remember these numbers no matter what. Okay, now expiratory will be additional volume of air that I can expel out. Okay, which is going to be 1000 to 1100 ml. This is actually less compared to inspiration. Yes or no? Here it is 2500, here it is 1000 to 1100. Okay, residual volume of air. I told you, no, that before when I was teaching starting, I told you that think of alveoli like a balloon. Think of alveoli like a balloon. Why did I say this? Not because I like balloons or anything like that. It is because, students, balloons, if you notice, we blow in the air. As soon as all the air comes out, the balloon will collapse. So if alveoli does not have any air inside them, then there is chances that the alveoli will collapse. Yes or no? Alveoli is going to collapse. So to avoid any collapsing of this alveoli, we keep something called as the residual volume. That is volume of air remaining in the lungs even after a forcible expiration. How much ever you try to expire, okay, how much of forcible you do, this air will never come out of the lungs. This will also give the time for the blood to exchange of gases as well. Okay, so this is also going to add on, like in the sense it's going to help for some more for the time for lungs to do the exchange of gases. So by adding up a few respiratory volume described above, one can derive various pulmonary capacities. So what you studied right now were volumes, okay, individual volume. Now if you add two volumes, you will get capacities. So inspiratory capacity, total volume of air a person can inspire after normal expiration. So this is in normal condition. Okay, normal. Okay, this is also going to be normal. This is forced. Okay, so like that, you just remember. So this includes two volumes, students. TV, tidal volume, plus IRV, inspiratory reserve volume, is equal to IC, inspiratory capacity. Here also TV plus ERV is going to be EC, okay, inspiratory capacity. Now here, functional residual volume of air that will remain in lungs after, this is also normal, okay, normal expiration. So this will be ERV, expiratory reserve volume plus reserve volume, because here you are normally breathing, okay, normal breathing, this is forced expiration, no. So this, after this forced expiration, that is how much air will be there after expiration. So obviously you will add ERV, you will not add IRV, no. So ERV plus RV. Okay, now vital capacity is maximum volume of air a person can breathe after the forced expiration. So this is forced, okay, forced expiration. This includes, it's going to have ERV plus TV plus IR. That is how much air can I take in after forced expiration, okay, and maximum volume of air a person can breathe out. Okay, how much you can breathe out after a forced inspiration and how much you can breathe in after a forced how much you can breathe out after a forced inspiration and how much you can breathe in after forced expiration. Total lung capacity, adding everything, that is RV plus ERV plus TV plus IR. Okay, or you can do vital capacity plus RV. Yes or no? You can do vital capacity plus RV. Done? Okay, done. Now before I go to this, tell me I left space. I usually leave some blanks. So I'll go to the last slide, students. Here, there's a graph that you need to know, okay, to learn the capacities. Now the problem with drawing the graph is the lines. Okay, I cannot draw lines. Being said that, I drew the best lines possible. So yeah, so here it's we have to draw a few lines. Okay, we have to draw a few lines. So this I will teach you now. This is 2 lines we are going to draw. Okay, you can usually have one more line, but don't worry. Now see students, first is vital capacity, no? That is going to be normal breathing and normal exhaling. Again, normal inhaling, normal exhaling. Now, after forced expiration, how much air you can take in? This is going to be bigger one, bigger graph. Yes or no? Okay, forcefully, how much air can I take in? Wait, I will do one thing. I will just draw one. Okay, I'll draw one by one. Okay, vital capacity, one normal expiration, inspiration. Okay, then a normal after a force, this one, how much air can you take in? Okay, then how much air you can ERV. Okay, so now this I have drawn. Okay, now you guys have to tell me each of it. Okay, yes, so this is oh students, I wanted to actually draw it in different color, but I forgot. Okay, just to remind me now. Okay, because if you don't draw it in different color, you won't understand. Okay, this is vital capacity. Okay, sorry, this is tidal volume. Okay, this is going to be your inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, inspiratory reserve volume. Now this is going to be expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so these are the 3 volumes. With these 3 volumes, we'll be able to find the capacities. Okay, we can find the capacities. And this is for just for your understanding. Okay, don't have to by heart this graph or anything. Just understand. Just understand. Chalo. Now each portion we'll do. First is tidal volume. This is going to be the tidal volume. Yes or no? This is going to be the tidal volume. That is after normal breathing. Okay, normal breathing. This is the volume, tidal volume. It is going to be 500 ml. Okay, 500 ml. Now what I've drawn above, it is going to be inspiratory reserve volume. Yes or no? How much air can I take in? Okay, how much air can I take in? So this is going to be, okay, this is going to be my IRV. Or we can mark this portion also. Okay, it's not necessary that we draw the highest peak. Just you can label here only. That's not going there. Okay, this is IRV. How much is it? 2500 to 3000. Okay, then what you went down? How much? Okay, expiration that you can do. Yes or no? Very good. Okay, this is going to be ERV. That is going to be 1000 to 1100. 1000 to 1100. Now we have to do capacities. Okay, I hope this goes. Why is none of this erasing? Oh, this got erased, this got erased. This. Okay, it's not erasing, it's become permanent mark. Okay, now we have to calculate the capacities. Capacities, you can easily do it. I'll tell you why. See students, IRV plus tidal volume, no? So this is going to be IC. Agreed or disagree? This is going to be IC. Okay, that is inspiratory capacity. Inspiratory capacity. Understood? Inspiratory capacity. That is IRV plus TV. Okay, IRV plus TV. Now what is going to be expiratory capacity? It is going to be from here. This is tidal volume, no? So from, wait, we put in another color because you will not understand. This is going to be EC. Not EC, okay? Expiratory capacity. Expiratory capacity. Done. Expiratory capacity. Okay, from tidal volume to ERV. Next is FRV. FRV is what? ERV plus RV. So students, usually, actually I did not draw one more line. Actually we were supposed to draw one more line. Okay, so I'll erase this. I hope this goes. I don't know this if it will go. Oh, yo, full thing went off. Okay, so no problem. Usually we draw one more line like this. Okay. like this, and we draw one more line like this. There's no reverse, huh? Can I go back, like undo? Okay, so here one more line is going to be there. It's going to be this line. Okay, now whatever is going to come down is going to be the tidal volume. Okay, whatever is going to come down is going to be the tidal volume. Understood? So, I mean residual volume. So this is going to be the residual volume. RV, that is around 1100 to 1200. Now if I have to do FRV, okay, if I have to do FRV, it is going to be from here to here. Understood why I drew this extra line? So this is FRV, that is RV plus, okay, ER. Okay, RV plus ER. So this, if you understand, more than enough. Some students like to learn it with graphs, some students learn it other ways also. Now vital capacity, students, you go from here to here. Till here. Okay, this is going to be your vital capacity. Okay, capacity. What is vital capacity? It's going to be IRV plus ERV plus T. Okay, now total lung capacity, there is no place. Okay, total lung capacity, but there is no place. But just imagine from here, from vital capacity plus R. Okay, this, okay, plus this will form total lung capacity. Okay, total lung capacity. So everything together, okay, that is going to be RV plus vital capacity. Okay, RV plus vital capacity. Done, easy, no? So tidal volume, students, normal expiration and inspiration. IRV is going to be forced, ERV is going to be after forced, IC is inspiratory capacity, IRV plus TV. Here also EC, normal. These are all normal. Okay, these three are normal actually. This is going to be forced. So EC is going to be ERV plus TV. Okay, this is going to be IRV plus TV, tidal volume. Okay, and FRV is going to be residual volume plus ERV. So this values you have to know by heart, otherwise it is going to be complicated. Okay, if you don't know the values by heart, then what is going to happen? You will not be able to calculate. Sometimes they will ask you to calculate the tidal capacities. Okay, they'll ask you to calculate the capacities. That time you should be in a position to calculate the capacities. Clear? Yes or no? Chalo. Okay, right, now last topic for the day going to be exchange. Okay, exchange of gases. So students, now we have understood the capacities, clear with the capacities. This you have to learn. Okay, don't even think of skipping this and all. I have to tell you one more thing. Okay, now let's see if I can write it here. Suddenly I'll remember one more thing, students. Okay, students, here and write. Okay, not here. Where's tidal volume? Here. Okay, here and write this tidal volume. No, sometimes question come. Tidal volume. Since tidal volume is around, okay, tidal volume is around how much? 500. So no, 500 ml. In that, two categories will be there. Okay, around 150 ml. 150 ml of the air will be in the conducting zone. Now you tell me, in conducting zone, is there any use of this air being there? Because exchange is not going to happen. Okay, so we call this as dead space. Okay, we call this as dead space because here no exchange happens. Okay, 350 ml. Excuse me. Okay, 350 ml is going to be in your alveoli. Okay, that is, here it is going to be at the respiratory zone. So just remember this, sometimes question will come. Okay, so respiratory zone. So out of 500 ml, 150 is in the conducting zone, which is in a dead space because the exchange does not happen. The rest will be in the alveoli. Okay, so that will be the amount of air that is actually going to get exchanged. Now the last topic is going to be exchange of gases. Yeah. Okay, now listen here. Alveoli are the primary site of exchange of gases. Exchange of gases also occur between blood and tissues. Oxygen, carbon dioxide are exchanged in these sites by simple diffusion, mainly based on pressure concentration. Solubility of gases as well as the thickness of the membrane involved in diffusion are also important factors that can affect the rate of diffusion. So the question has come in previous year NEET question, that is, what are the factors? Okay, what are the factors affecting diffusion? Okay, factors affecting diffusion. So what are the factors? First factor is the solubility of gases. Okay, solubility. Second thing is going to be thickness of the membrane. If the membrane is very thick, then obviously diffusion is not going to happen. Yes or no? So the membrane thickness should be less than 1 mm. Less than 1 mm. Okay, thickness, solubility of the gases, thickness of the membrane involved in the diffusion membrane. Clear? Yes, thickness of the membrane. Okay, solubility of the membrane, and also one more thing which is not mentioned here, which will be mentioned later in the part, is going to be the partial pressure. Students, the reactivity of the gas and all does not matter. Okay, that was the question actually. They gave 4 options and they asked you which is the wrong option among it. So you have to go for reacting. Okay, solubility of the gases, how fast they are soluble, then thickness of the gases, and then the partial pressure of the gases. Okay, these are the important factors for exchange of gases. Now, partial pressure. What is this partial pressure, ma'am? See, this is a box. Okay, in this box, let's say I have added oxygen. Okay, I have added carbon dioxide. I think this color won't be visible. Okay, oh, so same color, same but different. Okay, that color is different. Since I also watch Instagram. Okay, so here let's say carbon dioxide is that. Okay, now let's say this green gas. Okay, the green gas is oxygen. This oxygen, how much pressure it is exerting, that is what the partial pressure is. What did I say? What is partial pressure? That is, see, the amount of pressure exerted by an individual gas in a mixture of gas. Okay, individual gas. Maybe there are many other gases, students. Okay, many other gases, but colors are very less, so that's why, like, okay, let's say this yellow is there. Okay, this is a mixture. Agree? This is a mixture of gas, like your atmosphere. A mixture of gas like in your atmosphere. Individually, that gas is exerting how much pressure? Okay, individually that gas is exerting how much pressure? Like sometimes in a classroom, one student will be there who's continuously problematic. So how much pressure that one student is making in the mixture of a class where there are a lot of students, that will be the partial pressure of that person, right? So like that partial pressure, that is a very, I would tell, reality example I gave you, but that's not how you calculate. But partial pressure is the pressure exerted by an individual gas. Okay, exerted. This you have studied in chemistry, I feel, even in physics. Individual gas. Understood? This is the partial pressure. So partial pressure, you're going to learn some things. Okay, now, pressure contributed by an individual gas in a mixture of gases is called as the partial pressure, and it is represented by PO2 for oxygen and PCO2 for carbon dioxide. Partial pressure of these two gases in the atmospheric air and the two sites of diffusion are given in table below. We'll see the table. The data given in the table clearly indicates a concentration gradient for oxygen from alveoli to the blood tissues. You will not understand anything like this. Now students, here some pressures are given, but I will teach you directly from the diagram. Look at the diagram, all of you. Carefully listen to me. If you look at this diagram, you will understand the whole thing. See, inspired air means from the atmosphere. Okay. So here, see, they have given around 159 and 0.3. That I am writing it here. Okay, don't think from where did ma'am get this random numbers. She just writes whatever she wants. No. Okay, it is given in a textbook. 159. Okay, and partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 0.3. That means how much air is there in the outside. Okay, so this individual gas is exerting this much pressure. So from 159, students, from 159 the air is going to enter into the alveoli, which has 104 mmHg. Okay, now this air is going to enter inside. Now when it enters inside, it is going to move into this pulmonary vein, okay, and through that it is going to reach your systemic arteries, who's showing a value of 95. So from 104, 95, easily oxygen will pass. Yes ma'am, oxygen will pass. From 95 it is going to enter into your tissues. But remember that when this, see, student, this is your vein, okay, which is carrying deoxygenated blood. That means oxygen is absolutely less here, no? So automatically after some time, the oxygen will move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration, making it from 95, 40. Like from 95, it will keep on coming to this 40, and later it will go to this 104. Do not think that, ma'am, 95 plus 40 is not 104. How did it become 104? It's not like that, student. It is continuously a gradient, okay? It's a concentration gradient. So from higher region to lower region, it's just diffusing. So there's no proper value. So that is how it reaches 104, okay? So you can see the arrow mark, no, how it is going like this, because this is the cycle. If air is coming in, definitely air has to go out. Now this you understood. So what are the values that you see here? Go back here and see atmospheric air from 159, it is going to come to alveoli, which is 104. From alveoli, it is moving to the deoxygenated blood, which is 40. Okay, from 40 it will not move to 95. Remember that from 95 the oxygen is going to keep on adding here, okay? So the from the oxygenated that tissue blood, it is going to keep on adding to the deoxygenated and make this oxygenated, okay? But remember, from the oxygenated blood, it is going to go into tissues. It is going to go into tissues, okay? So this you remember, okay? This you remember. Here it is going to be like this way around. That is, here diffusion is going to happen from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Now carbon dioxide, see, in the atmosphere it is 0.3, but let's start from the tissues. Students, from the tissues, the oxygenated carbon dioxide is going to go to a lower pressure, 40. Now 40 to 45 won't go, because why? This blood is deoxygenated, this blood is deoxygenated, and this blood is oxygenated. So obviously carbon dioxide is going to go to the oxygenated blood. So here only the arrow marks is going to change. That is, from deoxygenated blood, the carbon dioxide is going to oxygenated blood, making it deoxygenated, and on the top, from deoxygenated is becoming oxygenated, because the cycle has to continue. One side, both the sides, if they are making it deoxygenated, then we are going to die, no? So that continuous change will happen, okay? Now from deoxygenated, the carbon dioxide is going to go to the alveoli. From alveoli, it is going to go into the atmosphere. Is this clear? Only here there is an arrow mark difference, if you see, from oxygenated to deoxygenated, from deoxygenated to oxygenated. Understood? Because it's a cycle, okay? It's a cycle. So here now you see carbon dioxide. What is going to happen in carbon dioxide? That from the tissues, the carbon dioxide, okay, 1 second, students, just give me 1 minute, okay? Hello. Okay sir, okay. Okay, so students, look here. Okay, now from here, okay, now what is going to happen? From tissues, the carbon dioxide is going to come. You can see from deoxygenated, it is going, the only artery that carries deoxygenated blood, and the pulmonary artery, the only vein that carries oxygenated blood, pulmonary vein, okay? Now you can see from the systemic vein, it is getting into the pulmonary artery. From here it is going here. So here you can see 45, 40. Okay, why? Because here diffusion is happening of gases. Don't think it is addition. Okay, addition is not happening, diffusion is happening. So diffusion is happening means what? Exchange is happening. Okay, so from there the carbon dioxide is going to go out where it is 0.3. Clear or not? So my one order came. Okay, I have to collect it. but I can't move from here, so I'm informing. Done. Okay. Yes. Okay, that is done. So this is how the exchange of gases is going to happen. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, too difficult to understand? Anyone is finding it difficult to understand? Okay, 1 second. Clear, all of you? Okay, so it's very simple. Don't break your head. Understand atmosphere pressure. Okay, how much? 159 partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, now this is the alveoli. Okay, this is the blood vessel. Okay, the simplest diagram possible. Since here the diffusion membrane is going to be there, which we learn later. Now students, this here how much partial pressure will be there? 104. Okay, here how much partial pressure will be there? PO2 40. Always remember, it's always 40, 45, nothing more than it. So from here the oxygen got in. Okay, from here the oxygen will move into the blood. Okay, from blood where will it go? Tell me. From blood, tissues. Okay, from blood it will go into the tissues. Tissues, how much is there, students? PO2. PO2, we cannot decrease, no? We cannot decrease, no? So here in between, okay, in between, see 1 second. See here tissues, how much is there? 40 is there, okay? But here one catch is there, who is there? One between person is there, no? 95, 90%, 90, sorry, 90%. Okay, this is 40. So here what is going to happen? In between, you have pulmonary vein, correct? Okay, you have pulmonary vein. Okay, you have pulmonary vein that is going to have partial pressure of oxygen to be 95. Okay, so this 95 and this 40 adding on, it become 104. Now only this one small confusion students will have. Now let's go for partial pressure of carbon dioxide, 0.3. Here it is 45. Okay, correct? 45? Yes. Here it is 45. So 45, 45. This is going to be 40. Okay, we just remember it. Okay, we just remembering. So students, from here tissues, it is going to enter to who? To the blood vessel, correct? Tissues to blood vessel, from blood vessel to the alveoli, from alveoli to the outside. In between this, who is going to be there? Between this, your pulmonary artery is going to be there. How much is going to be the partial pressure? Carbon dioxide, tell me. Deoxygenated blood, yes, 45. Okay, partial pressure of oxygen is going to be 40. So very simple, from oxygenation it will go to deoxygenation. Okay, because it has to go for purification, and from deoxygenation it will go to oxygenation. Okay, so here if it is deoxified at the vein, yeah, the vein is going to carry oxygenated blood. Okay, so if it is 95 and this fellow is 40, from 95 to 40 he'll keep adding the oxygen. Okay, that is the only reverse here. And here if you see, if this fellow is 45 and if this deoxygenated blood is 40, no, sorry, carbon dioxide. Okay, here carbon dioxide, here it is going to be oxygen. So I'll write here oxygenation. Here what is going to happen, student? Oxy to deoxy. Yeah, so if oxygen, let's say this is 40, this is 45, this will keep adding. Okay, making oxygenated to deoxygen. This is the only change, otherwise this is all it. Okay, this is all it. Got it? So here what is going to happen? Deoxygenated blood will be happening. So that means carbon dioxide should be more. Okay, deoxygenated. Here oxygenated. That is the only thing. So diffusion is happening. Remember, diffusion is happening. That will lead to this 104. Will lead to this 104. But otherwise, here addition is not happening. Okay, addition is not happening. Clear? Chal. Yes, that is clear. This is clear. Okay, this we will stop it here. So this diagram you see once again. Okay, any confusion, just drop it in the comments. So here, see students, from oxygen is coming into the tissues, here cellular respiration will happen. Now arteries, you see, oxygen is 95. Okay, look at the arrow mark, look at the arrow mark. Oxygen is coming in, yes or no? Oxygen is coming from the atmosphere from 159 to 104. From there it is moving all the way to your pulmonary vein like this, and your systemic arteries carry oxygenated blood. That is going to be your 95. So from 104 it is coming to 95, higher to lower. From 95 it is going to come here. Okay, here how much is there in the tissues? How much is there in the tissues? Can you think and tell me? Look at this diagram, look at this diagram. How much have we written in the tissues? 40. Okay, so from 95 to 40 will come to 95 to 40. So oxygen done. Now carbon dioxide, you see, from tissue to here. Okay, tissue to here it will go all the way, it will get carried away, it will go to 40. Okay, it will go to 40. Here you can see carbon dioxide is 45. Okay, carbon dioxide is 45. So from 45 it will go all the way to the 40, from 40 to this. If you see simply, okay, without looking at the pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery, then it is, there is no confusion. Just you go from simple, this is going to happen. That is going to be, where do I write it, students? Here only, side only, right? That is going to be simple. Okay, that is, see, oxygen, how many that is have I told? No, count the that is. Oxygen, it will go from 159 to 104. Okay, 104 to how much? 95, 95 to 40. Okay, only there the deoxygenation, oxygenation, extra one different calculation is there. Now if you see, if you see carbon dioxide, what is going to happen? From niche you want to start, from tissues, 40, no, 45, no, 40, 40. Okay, carbon dioxide is always 40 and 45, only oxygen has different values. Okay, 40 to 45. Okay, lower to, I mean, student, this won't make sense. Lower 45, okay, to 40, 40 to 40, 45 to 40. Okay, here what is extra? 95. Tissues, how much, students? 1 second, one value we missed. 45 to 45, 45 to 40, 40 to 45, 45 to 40. Okay, 45 to 40, 40 to 45 again. This is the confusion part, so let's skip this. Wait 1 second. Here 40 and 45 is there, no, so much, so you might get confused. 45 to, so here I'm telling 45 to 40, 40 to 0.03. Sorry, 0.3. That's all. Okay, in between when values are coming, that is all the confusion will cause, but don't worry about the confusion. Understood? No, oxygenation to deoxygenation, deoxygenation to oxygenation. That's it. Okay, so yes, we are done with our exchange of gases. So today's class, what and all did we do? Okay, 1 second. Little more I was supposed to teach, but it's okay, we'll do next class, because next class then we have only 2 topics. Okay, one tomorrow itself I'll take on the next class, students. So here, okay, so today we did breathing. I always write like this after the class, so you can check out that if you've understood all of it. Respiration, okay, respiration, respiratory organs in your different people. Okay, people, I'm telling, different animals, organisms. Okay, respiratory organ. Then you studied about the human respiratory system. Okay, human respiratory system. Tomorrow we have to do oxygen dissociation curve. Okay, human respiratory system. In human respiratory system, you studied a lot about lungs, about the lobes and everything. Okay, then you studied about rib, actually it's the rib cage together, called the rib cage. The thoracic chamber, no, together we can call it as the rib cage. Okay, thoracic chamber you studied. Then you studied about inspiration, expiration. Okay, then you studied about the exchange of gases. Half you studied. Okay, tomorrow you have to study alveoli and oxygen dissociation curve, then some diseases. Okay, and carbon dioxide. Okay, exchange of gases. Correct, exchange of gases you studied. Then you studied about the different pressure gradient. No, not the pressure gradient, partial pressures. Okay, different partial pressures. Okay, carbon dioxide. Done. So this is what you're studying, student. Breathing and respiration. Please try to understand the difference. Breathing is a physical process. This is a chemical process. Okay, this is a physical process, and here respiratory organs of different organisms. Okay, human respiration. Do not forget about larynx, even though it's not very coming into this. Then epiglottis. Okay, epiglottis. Okay, chalo, epiglottis. Okay, epiglottis, then thoracic chamber, inspiration, expiration, exchange of gases, and partial pressure. Done. Chalo. So thank you so much for joining, students. See you all in next class. I hope all of you are enjoying breathing and exchange and also enjoying the classes with me. So yes, do like the video and share the video with a lot of your friends and let them also study. Okay, because sharing knowledge is very important. Do not be selfish. Okay, do not be selfish. And I hope today's all the syllabus is clear. Tomorrow we will be doing tomorrow we'll be doing other topics as well, like oxygen dissociation curve, which is the most important curve, curve of your life. So thank you so much. See you all.